Get the most from your music.
Hello and welcome to the Spinning Room. In today's video we're going to talk about a subject that we have a lot of conversations with our customers about, new to the hobby and also experienced, and that is cartridges, or needles or styluses. There's a number of different terms people use, and what I'd like to do today is just start by introducing some of the basics about this very important part of being able to play a record and getting the most from your music when you choose to play vinyl as your method of getting music into your home. There's a number of different types of products that we have available here and in the marketplace, and they basically come down into 4 categories. What I'll do is I'll show you some close-ups of these as we go along, and I'll try and describe what they do and why they're different, and also hopefully it'll help you make your mind up as to whether or not it's right for you in regards to how you plan to use your record player. And obviously one of the things is the cost does vary dramatically with some of these products, and again it's like I'll just explain to you maybe why these products do cost so much, or why some of them are much more affordable, and again it's about choosing what you believe is the right product for you. The beauty of a hi-fi shop like ours is that we actually invest in buying some of these products in and putting them on demonstration. So if you ever want to come along to the Spinning Room and actually hear some of these in action, then please do. Just book an appointment and we'll happily play some for you, and you can make a proper decision based on your ears, not just on the specifications and price and the descriptions that the manufacturers give you. Ultimately, our ears are all different, and therefore it's important that ideally you choose with your ears rather than just on the specifications alone.
Get the most from your music.
Okay, so the first type of cartridge that we're going to look at is called a moving magnet. And the moving magnet is a cartridge that allows the user one very important feature before we look at the other factors of what they do. And that is that, if we can just see closely there, the stylus itself removes from the body. Now, what does that mean in practice? That means that if you have an accident, you're replacing just the stylus, the little needle, and not the whole body. Now, some of the other ones we're going to talk about, unfortunately, it's a bigger deal when you snap the stylus on those. But as you can see, lots of manufacturers do it different ways. But basically, I can take this and I can actually remove the stylus from the top. I'll do some close-up videos of this. Moving magnet is the most affordable method of vinyl replay. Starts very, very nominally at usually around £30. You can get cheaper ones, but to be honest, you're just going to damage your records with those. So we tend to start around £30, and they're great. They're easily changed. They track the record really well, and you can actually get upgraded styluses for these. So what I'll do is I'll just again insert some videos here of the different types that are available, and just give you an idea of how that works. So that's the first one, that's moving magnet. And again, a product that comes as standard on a lot of turntables, and it also is something that's very popular, and probably one of the more traditional ways of getting some information out of a record group. Okay, the second type of cartridge that's available is called a moving coil. So again, this looks very similar to what we would imagine the moving magnet to be like. However, there is no way of removing the stylus from this particular product. So unfortunately, if you do happen to have an accident, you're buying a new cartridge or hoping to send it somewhere to get it repaired. Now, why would you spend more on a cartridge that you can't replace the stylus? Well, the simple answer is that the stylus has a very important role in collecting information from the record. And what you're looking for is agility. You're wanting that stylus to move around in the groove where the diamond sits on the end as fast as it possibly can. And to get something fast, usually it has to be light. So what a moving coil cartridge does is it's a much lighter mechanism, and therefore it follows the groove much more effectively, and keeps up with the information in the groove, and therefore you get more detail, you get more information that comes from the groove, and it's a much more kind of it's an advanced process over and above moving magnet. However, the downside is they're much harder to make, and therefore they tend to be more expensive. Okay, next method is called moving iron. Moving iron is a different mechanism again. This one uses similar principles to the moving coil in that we don't have any ability to remove the stylus. So if we have some damage to it, it needs repairing professionally or replacing. But it actually has the same output as a moving magnet. And that in itself is quite useful. So again, we maybe just need to talk about what outputs you actually get from some of these cartridges, because they are all different, and that will actually determine which amplifiers and which products you can connect your stylus to, which you'll get a proper sound from it. In recent years, there has been some advancements in the cartridge manufacturing process, and one of the things that has developed is a method called strain gauge, and there's another one that's optical. Optical isn't an actual laser or anything that picks up the information. It simply uses a little light diode inside the cartridge to keep track of the stylus's movement, a little bit like a mouse on a computer. But we're not going to talk about those today because they're quite niche and not actually very expensive, so it's something we'll stay clear of in this video. But here we've got is a real mixture of different approaches, and the material science is absolutely key to how these products work. So the anatomy of a cartridge is made up of a number of pieces, and they generally all have certain parts that they share. There's a body that's made of different materials, and each time the material's changed, it will affect the sound of and performance of the cartridge. There's a mounting mechanism, so generally they have two holes that accept some bolts in the top to fix it to your turntable. They'll have a motor system, so that could be moving coil, moving iron, moving magnet. Then they have a cantilever, so that's a little needle that sticks out, that's on a suspension system. And then on the end of that, there'll be a little diamond, assuming you're buying a product that's of a quality where they're using diamond. Some of the really cheap ones actually cut corners on this, and probably should stay away from that if you can, because you're not doing your records any good. But they're the kind of main components that make up a cartridge, and then it's then down to, well, how have they implemented it? Why would you do it one way rather than the other? And different designers will have different principles to this. But one of the things is the way in which the cantilever works is it must be really stiff. So what you tend to find is the more you pay for these products, you start to see more exotic materials, such as on an entry-level cartridge, it tends to be carbon fibre. Then you might move on to aluminium. Then from aluminium, we'll move on to things like boron. Boron's very stiff and very light. We also have cartridges that use sapphire, ruby, and also the most expensive cartridges, they have a solid pipe that's diamond. Now, some of our products, we've actually got a product here which has got a sapphire cantilever that's actually hollow. Now, this is just mind-boggling given how small these things are. Each of these is about material science, but the idea is it must remain as stiff but light as it can, because that allows it to move quickly as the groove determines where it needs to track. The suspension ultimately will then be designed to allow for that stylus to move properly. In regards to the needle, the actual point that actually touches the record, there's a whole host of different designs to that, and that in itself is a very interesting subject. And we talk to customers a great deal about this. Historically, back in the early days of this method of playing music on a record, it was used commonly used was a conical stylus. A conical stylus is like a blunt pencil. It's rounded, and it doesn't particularly fit very well into a triangle, which is the shape of the groove. So what it tends to do is run near the top of the groove and touch a very small little circle of information on either side of the touch points. If we put it under a microscope and it's been worn, you'll see there's two little circles that form where it's worn down. Now, over the years, more advanced profiles of these little diamonds have come about, and now we've got a whole range of products which include products such as elliptical, hyperelliptical. These are much more kind of triangular shaped, but they can never be completely triangle because they just dig a new groove in your record. So they have to have some form of rounding and shaping to ensure that they follow the groove, but what they don't do is dig the groove out. So we've got elliptical, hyperelliptical, we've got microline, we've got fine line, we've got shibata, which is a very advanced profile. And all of these different approaches, what they do ultimately is you start to see these as you spend more money on your cartridge, is they touch more of the groove of the record, and therefore they extract more information from the record itself, and you'll hear that through your speakers and into your stereo system. One of the downsides of the more advanced profiles is they do need to be very accurately set up. The more affordable, such as conical, you can kind of get away with that a little bit, and that's why they tend to use them on the more affordable turntables. But it's a subject in itself. There's vintage cartridges that sound fantastic. You know, they were making great cartridges back in the 80s. Problem is you buy one of those, it could have a worn stylus, you know, and therefore it's not actually working as it should do. You can buy brand new cartridges that are affordable, and you can replace the stylus, and you can buy multiple styluses for them, so you can have the different cuts of diamond on the same body. And that's a popular approach. We have lots of our customers choosing to do that. That is, again, what they do is they can instantly change the sound of their turntable simply by just changing the little diamond on the end of the cantilever. And that's a fun part of the hobby if you decide to go down that level. Lots of people just want one that will extract the information at a price they're happy with, in the knowledge that if they do have an accident, which does happen, they can replace it. So, okay, so thank you so much for listening to this video. It's a little bit more technical than we've done so far, and I'm mindful there's loads of bits that I haven't covered in this because this is a subject in itself. We will cover the idea and information on how to set up a cartridge should you want to do it yourself in another video. But in the meantime, if you've liked what you've seen here, please like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up on the video, because again it helps us understand that we're making content that's of use. And I hope to see lots of you in the shop. That those that want to visit the spinning room, we can talk through these and show you these cartridges in more detail. And of course, if you're looking to buy one, we can always get them playing, and you can make your mind up by what they sound like rather than just talking about them. So thank you once again, and we'll see you on the next video.
Get the most from your music.